Well, good evening, everyone. Roger Griswold here with you on a Friday evening. This is going to be a full and comprehensive review of everything you need to know with regard to Hurricane Lee. So sit back and relax, and I've got all the information that you need to know for planning. Hurricane Lee right now, we've got a tropical storm warning in effect. This includes York County, Cumberland County, interior sections now Androscoggin County and Kennebec County added to the list. That's a change since last night at this time. And of course, the down east region all the way up to Presque Isle with a tropical storm warning, something you don't see that often. Interior sections of York County, Oxford County, Northern Franklin, and Somerset County under a wind advisory, meaning there will be the potential for some damaging wind, but to a lesser extent. Now, the last update we had was the 5 o'clock update. There'll be another comprehensive update coming at 11 o'clock. Wind gusts to 100 miles per hour, sustained winds at 80 miles per hour. The movement is now north, so it's completely north at 20. That's a little bit of an accelerated pace, which plays a role in our timing arrival of winds. Pressure holding steady, 965. So here's what I mentioned, the consistency between one report from the next. So 11 o'clock this morning, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, each time the Hurricane Center issued their statements, we held the same wind. And if anything, the pressure might be just rising, nudging a little bit, which is going to continue as the storm continues to weaken. Here's the view from above. A couple of things. You can see all the colorful images. That's all the moisture, the high cloud tops, the convection. Most of that moisture on the western side of the storm, with drier air beginning to work its way in on the eastern side. Now, at this point, the cone doesn't really matter a whole lot because it's so narrow. And you can see the forecast to be a tropical storm Saturday afternoon making landfall on the western side of Nova Scotia, maybe Digby, Nova Scotia. But the thing about this storm system, and we've said this day after day, is not the intensity, but the size of it. I mean, look at this. This is about 600 miles from the western edge of tropical storm force winds to the eastern edge. Just a tremendous wind field associated with it. This is all hurricane force winds, and that extends out about 100 miles. So let's take this wind field of tropical storm force winds and bring it north. 10 o'clock tonight, it's already pushing up into the Boston area, and you can see it pushes into southern Maine, the mid-coast, even Bangor by tomorrow morning. Whereas a couple of days ago, we were thinking midday on Saturday. Now we're going to get things well underway here first thing in the morning. In fact, by noontime, now it's encompassing Augusta, Waterville, all of down East Maine. In fact, folks there may be dealing with winds up over 60 miles per hour, a little bit closer to the core of the storm. And finally, by this time tomorrow night, the winds will be easing as the storm system begins to move away. Another way to look at it, the probability of hurricane force winds, not a concern here, but a greater concern, especially along the Nova Scotia Peninsula. And if you look at tropical storm force winds, where once again we're up over 40 miles per hour, you can see that if anything, with the track, which is slightly farther west now, you've sort of nudged all these colors back into the coastline, increasing the odds, the confidence in getting these winds. As far as the timeline, well, this is a bit more accelerated. 8 o'clock tonight, south of New England, 2 a.m., you can see it pushing up in the Portsmouth area, and then through Portland, probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, we'll begin to ramp up over 40 miles per hour and continuing that timeline as you work your way down the coast. So in summary, the wind impacts from Lee, maximum gusts of 40 to 60 miles per hour, some trees snapped or uprooted, and power outages are a possibility. Now, the other thing we need to watch is the rain, and the rain is not going to be a huge factor through York and Cumberland County. Maybe an inch of rain in some of the tropical downpours, and that's going to be the thing. It's going to be sort of squirrely in nature. It's on again, off again. Winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. Now, along the mid-coast, we're likely to see some heavier rainfall amounts. Waldoboro up to Camden, Rockland, either side of 2 inches. And once again, with 50 mile per hour wind gusts, damage is likely, is power outages a big concern, and 14 to 18 foot seas building offshore. A little bit farther inland, Capital District back to Lewiston, Auburn. Lighter rain the green, heavier rain the blue. Still, you're only looking at an inch and a half, so really not a big concern about flash flooding. And our final stop is from Farmington back up to Rangeley, back to the New Hampshire border. Less impact from the wind and rainfall amounts, about 1/2 of an inch. So that's not a lot of rain. In fact, some areas may struggle to reach that. And it's not nearly as much wind, although there is a wind advisory. So there may be some isolated areas of damage and scattered outages. Hurricane itself, yeah, it came through that cold pool east of Bermuda, west of Bermuda, that is. Right now it's coming across the Gulf Stream. This is that ribbon of very warm water But as it continues north, notice how it enters into the Gulf of Maine and here, much cooler water here. And this will pretty much put the brakes on it being a tropical system and begin the process of it transforming into just a big, powerful nor'easter. So along the coastal waters, we've got concerns about the upcoming tides. Our next high tide comes in after midnight or so, and there may be, staying below flood stage, but it's going to be noticeable. Remember, 12 feet, this line right here is when we approach flood stage in Portland Harbor. Now tomorrow, noontime high tide, you're looking at about a 12-foot forecasted tide. Add to it some surge and perhaps wave action, and that's why the coastline is going to feel the brunt of this. High surf advisory, this expired for today with 5 to 7 foot breaking waves throughout the evening hours, but I expect that to once again be up for tomorrow. Here are the high tides. I mentioned the 9.6 Saturday. It's a 9.4, but you add in the surge, and that's why we're pushing closer to 12. And Sunday, looking at about 1 o'clock in the morning, about a 9-foot tide. Fortunately, those tides are actually some of the lowest tides of the entire month. Wind impact again, maximum gusts of 40 to 60, some trees snapped. And the bottom line here, the power outages are going to be the concern. Stay safe. We'll keep you updated right through the storm.